So I only use tROAS now for standard shopping exclusively.
Okay.
Awesome. I do want to mention the tROAS bidding strategy, or the standard shopping bidding strategy for Regina. I don't see Regina. Regina, can you hear me? I think I see someone back there. There you are.
Sorry, can you guys hear my water filter? It's peeing in the background. It lives on top of my fridge. That's why I'm always over at my fridge, like pushing buttons on the top of it.
That's awesome. So I only use tROAS now for standard shopping exclusively.
Okay.
The tROAS target is 100% unique to that campaign and that company and that goal and how aggressive we need to get.
Question before you go into tROAS more. So what if you got an account that had no data in it, really high AOV and really low budget? Would you still use tROAS from day one? Like worst case scenario, would you still?
Yep, I would start at 40% tROAS.
Wow, okay. But the algorithm, how can it get you a return when it doesn't know anything?
40% is enough for it to say, can you at least make me 40 cents on every dollar? It allows it to not spend stupidly for too long on things that are not working, but remain aggressive.
Okay, sorry. One more, even more extreme scenario, which actually happened to me 2 months ago. What if it was an account that sold like brand name products, and you saw in the search terms that the algorithm wasn't bidding on people that are looking for those brand names. It was just bidding on people looking for the product, but not the brand name, right? So it's like high-end products with brand names. Would you then override your tROAS strategy and use max CPC to force it to pay more for a click?
Nope, that's actually,
yeah,
because, and you'll see here,
Yurima's laughing because she knows exactly what account I'm talking about.
Yep. So this one, you'll see it's only $50 a day, $80, 50, 80, and all of a sudden this thing spikes up to $700 a day. And that's because my tROAS, I took it down to 100. The rest is on 200 to allow this to go really expensive. And it's popping a 430. Even though I give it 100, it's giving me a 430. The reason why is because that is aggressive. And these here, that's what I said, it's completely custom. The reason why these Brick, Samsonite, and Hartman are barely spending is because that is below what I'm asking. That is below what I'm asking. That is slightly above what I'm asking. So it's spending more. And that is way overshooting what I'm asking. So it's spending a lot.
Right. But in this case, John, the algorithm wasn't bidding on the brand names, even though we did product title overrides. We put the brand name in the first part of every product title. So we thought that would be enough for the algorithm to know what to bid on, and it wouldn't.
I honestly have done a tROAS of 5% before to launch something.
But I think what was throwing the algorithm off is, even though you're giving it lots of freedom, because we gave it lots of freedom too. I think I did that strategy. Or if not, I had just had like a wide open maximize conversions set on it for a while. And the problem is that 99% of the market out there is looking for these products, but not looking for the brand name. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was such an extreme scenario. So maybe this
what was the brand?
So the website was called they sold like $50,000 chandeliers to like interior designers. $1,500 a month. Yeah, you found it. So, it's furniture. So people are searching for table lamps, and she sells table lamps that are $4,000. And unless they are searching for the brand name with the table lamp, it's not gonna. So the algorithm doesn't have any data because her budget is so low, and it's getting all these clicks on people looking for table lamps, but no one's.
What's the brand? Is that one of them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Did we see how much our competitors are bidding for that brand name?
I eventually did look up some of the main brand names, not this one. And it was a wide range, which confused me. It was anywhere between like 90 cents and $15. And I was just like, it's all over the place. It was a mystery.
There's nothing here.
So I eventually switched to max CPC, and I set like $5 max CPCs to force the algorithm to spend more. But then we had no data because we weren't getting any clicks. So I was just like, I don't know what's going to work.
How is the feed, though, from a description? So it does say the name here, so it should be okay. It's right in the title.
Yeah. Maybe this is just,
I mean, we have
we
limited
told her a
visibility.
million times her budget was too low, and that was the main issue. So it was probably just a doomed account from the start.
Well,
But
what I
as
what I
was
do
looking-
know,
yeah,
what I do know is like for which is, you know, popular brand name, and these people spend a lot of money on their brand. Like when you type in, you really rarely will ever see any other competitor. You'll see Monos here, but they cover their brand name, you know, really, really, really well. So my cost per click is $2 and $4. Sometimes, you know, I'm paying upwards of like $8 for the brand name and the product name.
yeah,
And that's because this account here at 100% tROAS, you know, that was aggressive enough for it. So, but you see that it's not necessarily also where a majority of my clicks are coming from. I get backpacks, best
right.
one here. So it's still backpacks actually at a 20% conversion rate. The brand did not. This one also had 25% conversion rate when the brand did not. So what I would say is A, did we and should we need to that brand name? Potentially not. B, was it one of the least expensive of the reason why this one was spiked up $700 a day over the weekend is because there's no one watching map pricing on the weekend because they're all, you know, at home with their family. So, but those are the things too. It's like where we have to train the algorithm. So what Google doesn't know right now is why bid on the brand name. Google's going to say, I don't know, have we had a bunch of sales in the brand name? No, I'm not going there then. And so that's the part too where we spiked over the weekend, but my sales didn't come from. That's okay. I had a great price. So there's a few different things that up there is A, do we have the best price? Probably not. B, was there anybody violating map? Probably. C, is there any history in that campaign to want to bid for those names or anything else? Does Google actually say, actually, these search terms we think are going to convert better? Was that true? And did we give enough time?
Well,
maybe. So there's a whole bunch of things.
By the time she came to us, she'd been through 2 other agencies for the past year who were running like mostly just PMAX, and the whole business had been dying and dying for a year. So I treated it kind of like a new account in that, you know, it didn't know what it was going to convert. The tracking was almost non-existent because what happens in these, it's almost like a B2B where the interior designer will pick it out, but the invoice goes to the end client and the end client pays it. So it can't track any conversions ever, you know.
The other part is that brand name, as an example, that is actually an Italian gelato dessert, which is going to be really weird as well. So we're going up against a bunch of random people too that are trying to sell desserts on shopping, which is kind of funny. Black truffles and truffle zest and
the only thing that did seem to work was to like switch it to max CPC, set the max CPC like $5.
See, that might have been where it killed it though too. That brand name could have been hitting 7, 8.
Yeah, it was risky, but I didn't know what else to do. It wasn't bidding on brand names at all. And it was just getting like, literally people were searching for like, you know, like Costco mirror. I excluded the word Costco eventually, but like, that's an example of like just the vast market of people out there who want like a $15 mirror and they're not willing to pay $4,000.
Yeah.
So it's just, I didn't know what to do. Didn't know what to do.
That part too is it's, again, if the brand name may not have saved it. I have, you know, a bunch of accounts that the brand name didn't work. I haven't gone after in over a year because it never worked. So the only way it worked is when I beat their pricing and they showed up for cold traffic. Like that was the secret. So that's what's kind of interesting. I think that there's more that I'd have to go through. We don't have access to it anymore. My go-to though for everything right off the bat is always it's always tROAS now. It's if I now know how to train that, and that's where it becomes really really odd. But that the other part too is that you have to understand is when I look in the back end in this last 7 days, for example, like we pulled back a bunch because we're going through a funding thing, but I spiked it up here over the weekend. That spiked up sales, but we have 14.5 in last 7 days and we spent 2. So we're at a 7x in this last 7 days. At scale, we never dipped below a 6.1. So it worked really, really well. But that was because I know where to set the 100 and 200 tROAS in order to give me a back end, you know, 5 and 7s and that kind of stuff. So it's a tROAS bidding strategy, but what you set that to is arbitrary. What does Google know? How much loss of attribution do you have? And what is your back end? And then say, what does that need to be on the front end to then go through that scenario on the back end, and time lag and attribution, enhanced conversions and site speed is as slow and firing the tag and missing a bunch of conversions, then that needs to be lower to stay aggressive so it doesn't die. Whole bunch of stuff. It's completely unique to that, even that CMS.
So I have a question for you because
I do have to jump too, so I can. This will be the last question if that's okay.
Okay. Are you sure that if you were working with an account that it was $1,000 a month, you would still like, are you confident? Because it's been a while since you've worked on these small accounts. You know, like how confident are you on that tROAS from day one thing? Like
100%.
Really?
Yeah. My one account, here's an example. We spend $40 a day for we're getting a 2000 ROAS. I set it 100% tROAS.
Yeah, but it's been running for years, so it has high quality data and everything.
On PMAX, now we're on standard shopping. So that's the thing too, is like, yes, you can. It doesn't, what you're spending per day, if you need a higher CPC, you lower the tROAS. I mean, we're just talking about a bidding strategy. That's all we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You can set a manual CPC, but then you bid that way for everyone. Setting a really low tROAS means that you set a really aggressive bid strategy, unless it's actually a fairly low chance, then the bids go down.
I wish I could have set a minimum CPC on that account. That's what I wanted. I was like, please stop spending 50 cents on a click.
Well, that's when you have negative keywords daily.
Yeah, which she wouldn't let me do. I was like negating table lamp, and she was like, no, but I sell table lamps. And I was like, you don't understand.
Well, you can do two different ones. You can have a brand focus and you have a non-brand. So when in the one, you bid a higher tROAS and then you negate every single non-brand search term.
That would have been a genius strategy. Don't worry, client, it's over here. I'm still bidding on table lamps and wasting your money over here.
Exactly. Give the client what they want, but allow you to test.
Yeah.
And then you find out who wins. I do have to jump.
Yeah, I've done that with, but I didn't think of that. Okay, bye, John.
Cool.
Thanks.
See you, everyone. Thanks. Bye.
We're going to be talking about bidding strategies and how they affect every campaign type. And I want everyone to develop a deep understanding of how Google uses these bidding strategies in order to achieve a goal, also depending upon what Google